everybody. It is finally the weekend. Welcome to the weekend vlog. I hope you had a healthy, happy, productive, hopefully sane weekend. My week was fairly busy this week. Actually, these past 2 weeks have been extremely busy for me, so this weekend was a really good reprieve from the responsibilities I have during the week. So I'm very grateful for, just having a restful, relaxing weekend. I filmed some videos for my vlog. I opened up this weekend video with me just sort of tending to my garden, my indoor garden that I have in the corner. I showed you just sort of, I think I opened it up to just sort of the full garden as it is. I was clipping some, I think, sage and also some lettuces for salads throughout the week, but I was clipping some sage for a dinner item that I'm making. It is the fall season, so we made like spaghetti squash with walnuts and sage and like a butter sauce. It was actually pretty good. I think what would make it better was just be a little bit more flavor, a little bit more spice. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with trying out new recipes with spaghetti squash. I actually got a big spaghetti squash. I'll show you my the groceries that we got earlier today. But I wanted to sort of open up the vlog and tell you about a sunscreen that I used today. I've been using it for quite a few months, maybe over a year. I think I reviewed this in last week's vlog, but I'm using the DRMTLGY Tinted Moisturizer SPF 46 Universal Tint. It's marketed as a medical grade skincare item, but I bought this on Amazon, so it's easily accessible. I really like this sunscreen. It is a combination sunscreen in between zinc oxide and octinoxate. Octinoxate is a chemical filter that will filter out UVB, so the rays that burn the skin and damage the skin, but also the zinc oxide is broad spectrum and protects against UVA and UVB. UVA are the sort of the aging rays that are attribute approximately 80 to 90% of the visible signs of the aging process emanating from the sun. So having that zinc oxide in there with the octinoxate as well as the iron oxides to provide some tint and protection from blue light and the hyperpigmentation associated with the visible rays of visible light that we can see. It's actually a really powerful combo, and it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. So like, guys, if you are wanting to try out this tinted sunscreen, it's amazing. It kind of blurs imperfections, but it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. And also it provides a very moisturized look, so it makes you just look dewy. I highly recommend it. It does have sort of like a the only smell that it has is maybe kind of like a chlorine pool smell, but there's no chlorine in it. There's no like chemicals other than the octinoxate. It has niacinamide, which is a really powerful, naturally derived antioxidant type compound that can help reduce redness. And it also has knotweed extract in it, which it also has antioxidant capabilities. What else does it have in it? I think it has... Oh yeah, and it's also rich in hyaluronic acid, sodium hyaluronate. So very powerful humectant. The ingredients in it are sort of anti-aging ingredients. Again, I reviewed this in my vlog last week, so go ahead and check that out if you want to get a full description of all the ingredients and actually how they can be beneficial. Not just the sunscreen ingredients, but also the other, the knotweed extract and the hyaluronic acid and the niacinamide, and how those kind of play into the anti-aging in an anti-aging regimen. Definitely check out that review video that I did earlier. Okay, so I wonder, do you guys want to see sort of the groceries I got? I ordered Whole Foods through Amazon Prime Now last night and got it this morning. So I'll go ahead and show you just sort of the foods that I got for the coming week. Oh, also I want to show you the muffins I'm making. I'm making apple crumb muffins from, I think it's Sally's Baking Addiction. I've made a lot of recipes from Sally's Baking Addiction. They're really always top notch. Yeah, I'll show you that recipe and then we'll try the final product together. I typically make grain-free, sugar-free items, but this weekend, it's kind of a relaxing weekend. I'm sort of rewarding myself with more like sort of comfort food, but I'm also using fewer sugars and some sugar substitutes in it, so it's fewer carbs than would be in a normal traditional recipe. But anyway, let me show you my sort of grocery haul for this week. So opening up my refrigerator here, I have a grapefruit. I've been getting on a grapefruit kick lately. They're really high in fiber. I also have fresh okra, which I'm really excited about. I'm surprised these are actually still in season or that I'm still able to get them up here in New York. And some fresh green beans I got because I'm making green bean casserole ahead of Thanksgiving just to test it out. Also some white mushrooms. I love eating mushrooms raw, and I also like to cook them and put them in salads and things like that. Zevia. Have you guys ever tried Zevia? Zevia is like a calorie-free, stevia-sweetened soda. I have the root beer version and black cherry, I think. Here's some spaghetti squash. I like to use this for just to replace it for pasta. I got that at the store. I got this little spaghetti squash with Blue Apron. I have like 3 Blue Apron meals a week, and that should be like a pasta bowl kinda. Got some kale, some fresh kale, some eggs, cage-free eggs that I really like to eat. I get a lot of my protein and B12 from eggs. I also supplement. I'm not a vegetarian, but I do like my eggs. Got some almond milk for things like green smoothies and hot cocoa, which I'll probably make later tonight after I make the apple muffins. Got some plain unsweetened kefir for that lactoferrin kefir peptides and probiotics as well. Got some pantry staples like roasted and salted pistachios, really high in protein and other essential nutrients. Some roasted and salted almonds and walnuts, which I really love, all from California. Yeah, and then here's my snack closet that I have sort of stashed away a bunch of chips. I'm trying to get away from fried foods, but I really like these late July. I'm not doing a very good job getting away from fried foods, but I really like these late July chips, the lime and the Korean barbecue. I'm starting to like the Korean barbecue a little bit more. Got some almond flour crackers that I really like. Got some more chips. Let me just take this bag out so I can show it to you up close and personal. These bonito chips are really good. These are the Nacho Nation quote-unquote tortilla chips. They are grain-free. They're made from white navy beans. Yeah, so if you're trying to follow a grain-free diet, definitely check out the Bonitos. It's got some paper towels. I also got another bag of Bonitos. These are the sweet chili and sour cream. These are actually pretty good as well. Also made with beans, white navy beans, really high in fiber. So definitely check them out if you haven't. Got some brown coconut sugar. Supposedly it's low glycemic. I haven't really seen much evidence to suggest that, but supposedly it's better for your blood sugar. I'm using that to replace brown sugar in the apple muffins that I'm making from the Sally's Baking Addiction. Brown cow cream on the top, whole milk yogurt for the muffins as well. Got some coconut oil. You can never have enough coconut oil. I use that for my face too. And some organic apples for the muffins. Okay, dinner time has been completed. Now it's time to make the apple crumb muffins. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I can't remember what the recipe is. Oh, okay, it's called apple crumb muffins from Sally's Baking Addiction. Yeah, her recipes are always top notch. I really highly recommend. So the recipe starts off with the crumb topping, and it calls for 1/3 cup of packed light or dark brown sugar. I'm using coconut palm sugar as a replacement. It also calls for a tablespoon of granulated sugar, but I'm using a tablespoon of xylitol as a sugar-free replacement. And also a teaspoon or so of ground cinnamon in the mix. And you come in with a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter and just fold that in, stir it together, stir the mix together. And then after you stir this mixture, you'll come in with about 2/3 cup or 84 grams of all-purpose flour, and you just spoon that in, make sure it's leveled, and you'll stir that together. It'll come together and resemble, the crumb topping that you're going to put on the top of the final product. It's going to kind of look almost like ground beef, which is kind of what you want. It's definitely going to look different after it comes out of the oven. So yeah, you just stir that together until you get a nice mix. And then meanwhile, you can come in and go ahead and line your muffin tin. I'm using a 12 count muffin tin. And then we're going to go ahead and make the filling with a 1/2 cup of unsalted butter or just a stick, and then 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar, again, coconut palm sugar, about 100 grams worth. I make sure to measure in terms of grams for the dry ingredients. It just makes it more precise. And then you come in with a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Oh, sorry. Yeah. A 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. And then I'm using xylitol again. That's about 50 grams for a 1/4 cup. Yeah, so just measure that out, weigh it out, add everything together, the butter, the two sugars into the mixing bowl, and go ahead and mix on low, and then you can gradually speed it up until it all combines. And while that mixes up, you can go ahead and crack 2 large eggs at room temperature into a separate bowl. And you can see the mixture coming together, the butter and the sugar mixture coming together. You can go ahead and stop that once everything's mixed in the bowl. And then you'll come over with whole non-fat or whole yogurt, add that to the eggs. I think that's half a cup or 120 grams. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract you'll add to the egg and yogurt mixture. And then you'll go ahead and fold the egg and yogurt mixture into the butter mixture. And I think, yeah, you go ahead and mix that together as well until it's all combined. And from here, I think we go ahead and I keep saying that all with it, but 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour or 220 grams. Weigh that out because this will be the flour mixture for the filling or um, for the actual muffin. Scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl. Add I think, what is it? A teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of baking powder to the flour mixture, and also a teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of salt. I'm using Celtic sea salt here. Mix that flour mixture all together so it's nice and combined. And then we can go ahead and start with the apples. So you're going to peel 2 apples, 2 medium-sized apples at room temperature. Most of the nutrition is in the peel, so if you could save that and maybe try and use that for like an oat bowl or something, maybe smoothies or something later on, I think that will make a good use out of the whole food. But you take the skin off and then you also dice them, or you peel them and then you dice them into roughly small cubes. I think the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of peeled chopped apple, and we're peeling it here into relatively small cubes, as you can see. Yeah, so those are pretty small. Those will go straight into the batter, into the main batter mixture. There we go. And to finish off the filling or the batter, we're going to use a 1/4 cup of whole milk. You can use whatever milk you want, apple or almond milk if you want, or oat milk. Now we'll add the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients in the stand mixer. And we'll also add the chopped apples, which will finish off the main batter. And from here, we'll mix everything together. It comes together pretty quickly. You have a fairly somewhat firm dough, but it's still pourable into your muffin liners. It looks really, really good. Very buttery, very smooth. The apples don't really break apart that much in the stand mixer. And from here, what I like to do is take a cookie scoop and just take out the batter from the mixer one at a time. I'm going to go over this again because I think the recipe wants you to fill it up all the way to pretty much the top, if not maybe 2/3. Let me see. Actually, the recipe says, yeah, fill it up to the top. And you can see that we're pretty much leveling it out to the very, very top. We're gonna also have to put the crumb mixture on top too. So I think this makes enough for 12. There might be just a tad left over that you could either just throw out or maybe make like little mini muffins. But here's the batter all filled in. And then from here, you take the crumb mixture, if I ever get to that shot. It's supposed to look like that, what's on the recipe online on the Sally's website. But you take the crumb mixture, which again looks like ground beef, and you apply to the top of each muffin, and just press it in with your fingers. Sorry, press it in with your fingers. My voice cracked a little bit right there, but yeah, evenly disperse it throughout, and it should be able to cover every single muffin. I honestly think this is my favorite part of making the muffins because this is like the pretty much the final straw, but not the final straw, but the final moment right before you put them in. And I actually like to eat a little bit of the crumb topping as I go along, but there was enough left over, so it all worked out. Okay, so you bake for 5 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit in the oven, and you keep the muffins in the oven for 5 minutes, and then from after the 5 minutes are up, set the timer, do the 5 minutes, but after the 5 minutes are up, you lower the temperature to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and you bake for another 15 to 17 minutes. I'm doing about 15 minutes here, and that was actually enough time for me in my oven. I just inserted a toothpick in the center of the muffin, and it came out clean, and yeah, there you go. Whew, it is warm in here. Okay, here's the final product. I actually just opened it. I filmed earlier, but the air conditioning was on, so you probably couldn't hear me. But the crumble on here looks fantastic. It's still warm. You can see like the apple, like the cubes of apple in here still. Doesn't that look amazing? I don't know if you can see it as well on the camera. Actually it was very good. It's not overly sweet, which is nice. I think I'm eating this in a very weird way. Not only am I like leaned over against the kitchen counter right now, because my camera tripod is like really low, but I'm like crumbling up into pieces, but oh my gosh, really good. If you can see, you can see like the crumb, like, oops. If you can see like the cubed apples in here in the final product. I think that's really neat. It's not like shredded or anything like that, which is nice. Okay, I'm gonna eat this and then I'll see you in a moment. I just realized that I didn't create an outro for this video, so I just wanted to say thank you for joining me this weekend. I hope you had fun, and if you did, hit the like button down below, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.